the Set, which is actually, have you ever been to the Set in Los Feliz?
I think I have.
It's like a movie themed.
Oh, no, I haven't been in. I've just driven by it. It's on Hillhurst, right?
Yeah, there's like a dispensary in Los Feliz that's like movie themed. And
That's
it's like
cool.
the Set, you know. And
So
it
they have
has, like,
posters and shit?
it's more, no, it's like.
They're all weed.
It's more like
posters.
it's more like industry terms.
Yeah,
you know,
Puff
like
Fiction.
Puff Fiction. Yeah, I mean, they could have. It's
okay,
I mean, just
keep going.
keeping it with the Tarantino, you go rosin bro danks and then
Reservoir Dank.
Reservoir danks, but I want to work rosin in there somewhere.
Jackie Purple instead of Jackie
Well,
Brown.
come on now.
Like purple weed.
Purple.
Like purple weed.
Yeah, that's.
Maybe
I
these
don't
ones
like
are
that
harder
one.
than I thought. I don't know.
Boogie Nights be Doobie Nights.
Doobie nights. Yeah, that would be a good
Doobie
one.
lights. Yeah.
Doobie Halloween.
Doobie Halloween.
I mean, yeah,
I
just
like
go
that
through
one.
all that one.
Yeah. Then it's just gonna that turns into the Halloween / weed pun.
Halloween.
Yeah, the Halloween pun stuff. I don't know, man. I like Inglorious Bong Rips. Honestly.
I love it. I love Inglorious
Inglorious
Bong
Bong
Rips.
Rips is pretty good.
Honestly, that'd be a good gamer tag.
Yeah.
Danko Unchained.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going
Dank,
for bad ones.
Dank and
exclusively.
Unchained.
Dank and Unchained.
Yeah, Dank and Unchained.
And adding
just-
and to the title.
It's just,
What
sound alike.
what
It's
about
close enough.
Dabrig Unchained?
Dabrig Unchained, though. Like, yeah. We're trying to come. I think I know why we can't come up with these Tarantino weed puns off the top of my head. Do you know why?
No, but you're gonna tell me.
It's because we're missing, so it's something that's like really serious, actually. Because children go missing every day in this country. Millions of them, in fact. I've heard that's what the number's up to. And one of ours is missing. Yes, welcome to Extended Clip. I am one of your hosts, Eddie Averill, yada, yada, yada. We are without JT White, who, I heard that Crazy Feeling went into production day one about a week and a half ago, and it should be wrapped by now. I should hear from him by now. But, like, the last time I heard from him, he was, like, riding the rails on the train. And he was like, I'm just going to ride, man.
Whoa.
And I'm like, dude, what does that mean? And so we have added Baby Bobby Franco. We've scooted him up kind of like, that order of operations when the president gets shot. Mm-hmm. So like he, as the fourth mic, is now slid into JT's position.
Yeah, I've been playing the long con these last 5 years. I've been waiting for it. Why do you think I promoted Crazy Feeling so much? Is so that he could go full Hollywood and have to leave.
Go full Hollywood and go to Philadelphia.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I don't know, man. That's the long and short of it. Is our new third mic is Rob Franco, unless JT is out there somewhere.
I think JT might be a boxcar kid at this point.
If he's
Imagine
out there
he's
somewhere.
3 weeks from now, he's dead in the Viper Room.
What?
Hello? Is this coming through?
Whoa! Oh!
I'm in. Well, I can't really disclose my location right now.
Is it the Viper Room?
There's not the Viper Room. That's a good guess, though. Look, you're not going to see a lot of stuff from your Kickstarter money. I'm just going to tell you that. I'm going to be up front. Yeah, no, we got into a hairy situation here, and some of us had to lay low and whatnot. And Nico may be dead, but I don't know. I want everyone to remain as calm as possible. I'm contacting Ryan Swen for some important legal advice. And he said, I saw him in like a full, I zoomed him and he's in a 3-piece suit. and I feel like he's definitely going to help me out here. I think we're going to make it through.
Well, I don't want to ask for the sake of legality, but I could tell you're on the run. You are wearing someone else's clothes. It says on your shirt that you're wearing Matthew Danger Lippman's shirt right now. So the disguise, by the way, not very good, because like you're just saying you're someone else. But so is everything okay? Like, are you gonna be okay? Basically, is the long and short of what I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay.
I think with the way the
good.
courts are going now, I'm going to come up very good.
It's real
in
catch and
this.
release these days, so yeah, you should be good.
Now,
Yeah.
before I let you go, and by the way, I don't know where you are, but it looks horrifying. It's kind of like a Pedro Costa movie, and the way it's lit. It's just
He's in Vonda's room.
I can't see him. Yeah, he's in Vonda's room, and he's deep in the shot. You know. Did you see One Battle After Another yet?
Yes. Before there was the great sort of, well, again, I can't get into it. There's a lot of blood, a lot of guts, a lot of just bad stuff. But before that happened, before everything went wrong, we did a cast and crew little trip to One Battle After Another.
Ooh.
And that, fucking amazing. Let's just say some of the revolutionary spirit of that movie might have infected some of us more than others.
And gotten some of you in trouble. Now I'm putting the pieces together here. Okay. Well, you know what, JT, stay safe.
Thank you.
We love you, and we're so glad that you could check in, and we'll talk to you next week, okay?
Yeah, I love you boys too.
Love you, man.
I'll please pray for me.
Stay safe.
I will
out there.
pray that you stay in jail so I can continue. I want the third mic permanently.
You'll have to wait till I'm dead, buddy.
Oh, that can be arranged.
Now we're gonna have to see who Rob is gonna hire as legal counsel opposing Mr. Swen. This is gonna be a
Dude,
Michael
come on, you know
Clayton-esque
I got
situation.
Jew lawyers on retainer. Come on, baby.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You ever just feel like life is just catapulting towards like some greater purpose?
Average fat cats with bloated ego. We are the only DJ crazy enough to tattoo Jackie Brown on his ass.
This is Michael Mann, and I ride with
Extended clip.
Welcome to Extended Clip. It is episode 447, and I'm one of your hosts, Eddie Averill.
I'm Malcolm Baum.
And joining us once again, per usual, in the month of October, it's our buddy, Baby Bobby Franco.
Boo.
The time is here yet again, ladies and gentlemen. We are recording this on October Eve, September 30th, and this is chronologically the first one of the series we're going to be recording. And man, I am so happy to be back in the saddle for Baby Bobby Franco's Halloween Takeover once again. We got some great picks coming at you this month. You can check out the full calendar on any social media pages that you follow us on. But today's episode is about Pumpkinhead. Now, Pumpkinhead is a 1988 film by Stan Winston, who is most known for his special effects work. And I didn't really know anything about this one. Rob kind of just, when we first started brainstorming, it was like Pumpkinhead. I looked at the poster, saw Lance Henriksen, saw it was directed by Stan Winston, and was like, let's fucking do it. You had seen this one already once, right, Rob?
Okay. In rewatching or watching it for this podcast, I kind of realized I didn't finish it before. My story with this movie was like 8 years ago in college, on a cool September night, such like last night. A buddy was watching it, and I was like, "Why are you watching this stupid fucking movie?" And I was heckling him the entire time watching it. And it was a very fond memory in my heart. And so it's such a, I get happy thinking about it. It's such a great memory that the movie in my brain was like sick.
Yeah.
And like, I remember nothing about the movie other than like, wow, what a great experience. The movie must have been kind of cool. And this would be my way to experience that again. And so that's kind of why I wanted to go with this one.
So the obvious question is, and we'll get into why, but Was it sick?
It was fine, but I kind of wish I kept that memory of it, and that was all I had.
Yeah. I could see that. But the thing is, I think this is the type of horror movie that's just fine, but ripe for fun discussion. And that's why you had a lot of fun heckling it.
Sure.
Yeah. Malcolm, did you even know like what this one was before?
No, I didn't. You know, I saw Pumpkinhead. I'm like, perfect. There's going to be a guy. He's going to have a nice jack-o'-lantern
Straight
for a
up.
head.
I was just like, Pumpkinhead? Okay, it's a guy with a pumpkin mask being the slasher villain.
Yeah,
like, it's just,
perfect.
That's A to
I love
B right there.
a nice jack-o'-lantern face, but it's some alien fool, some alien fool. You know, I wasn't too big of a fan of this one, I have to say, but it's not very bad or anything like that. It's just a little bit boring. I have to say I was a little bit bored by it, but I do like, I don't know, I like Lance Henriksen or Henriksen. You know, there's some aspects I like of it. I think it's pretty well shot. You know, but it's kind of
really well shot.
Yeah.
For
There's
most of it.
one shot, one specific shot where I was like, "Whoa, mama!"
When the is it the low angle shot of Pumpkinhead walking with the camera tracking in reverse?
it's him standing on the stump of Pumpkinhead's grave.
Oh, yeah.
Before he digs it up, where you got a wide of the spooky woods, all the trees. I think there's probably a moon in the shot. It's I think a high angle looking down, and it's just super sick. That was my favorite shot of the movie.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of shots that look fantastic in this, especially it's one of the, you know, if it is a horror movie that exists and was made in America, there's probably a boutique label that's put out a 4K of it, and this is no exception. So I got the 4K remaster. I forgot which boutique label put it out, but that's the version of it I watched. And yeah, it looks really great. Like we've talked about this so much, but this feels more like early 90s Hollywood studio craft than what 80s studio craft looks like to me. I don't know why it feels like it kind of anticipates that feeling a little bit. But regardless, speaking of studio craft, I mean, the alien itself looks awesome, and that's because Stan Winston is the guy behind Aliens, you know, in terms of the aliens in those movies. He is a special effects maestro, not unlike Tom Savini, but in more of the sci-fi realm. He was like Cameron's guy for T2 and the original Terminator, and there are some very Terminator-esque images in this movie toward the back end. He did The Thing for Carpenter, as well as Starman. He did Monster Squad, Predator, the Jurassic Park movies, and then toward the end of his career, while like pitching in for Cameron's long gestating projects, one of the last things he did was he became the Happy Madison guy for like a year and a half.
Oh, cool.
And he did Benchwarmers and Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Ooh.
so he did the apple juice prop.
Yes, dude.
Wait,
The special
God
effect.
damn, I don't remember Benchwarmers. What's the apple juice gag?
Man. Well, it's just the Nick Swartzen character
I believe so.
who does he drink it or is he making the apple juice, so to speak?
I think, does he make it, and is Heater the butt of the joke there?
Yeah. I think you're
It's
right.
piss, right?
Or,
the
yeah,
apple
like,
juice
yeah.
is a stand-in.
Swartzen.
But is there special effects in that shot?
No, but I guess it's more of a prop.
It's just a prop.
Just
yeah.
the thing. We should
There's
do
not that much special effects in Benchwarmers from what I remember, other than some sports ones.
some nut shots. Is
Some
that a
nut
special
shots
effect?
for sure. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Zohan is like an
yeah.
elastic movie,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Like when he's at the grill and stuff. Like there's some crazy special effects in Zohan.
Benchwarmers is like, when I was a kid, I watched Benchwarmers like at least 10 times. We should do a Benchwarmers episode.
Absolutely. But anyway.
Anyway,
So Stan Winston, though, like he does bring that very tactile feel to this movie when like the genre calls for it. But then you have to remember that like horror movies are more than just the creatures and the cool atmosphere. Like you have to have kind of more under the surface there, and this film kind of teases at it, but it doesn't quite get there. Like I liked this film, I just didn't love it. I liked it more in the first like 30 minutes when it seems like it's just going to be like a down and dirty revenge movie. Like it felt like it was going to be like a better version of like a John Dahl desert western, like desert noir.
Yeah.
One of those kind of movies where it's just Henriksen going rage mode because it's like the great dichotomy of the yuppie dirt bike riders and like the potato sack wearing farmers. And it's like, oh God, which side is Henriksen going to be on, you know? And turns obviously, you know, you know which side, but it leads to something much deeper, which is the supernatural that exists in this world of the Pumpkinhead, which Lance Henriksen as a little kid saw in the opening flashback that takes place in the 50s. And so he's a true believer of the Pumpkinhead, who, I have to say, I get it. You revive him at a pumpkin patch. He looks nothing like a pumpkin, though. Pumpkinhead. But I get it, though, because it's like...
That's what the little kids would call him.
Exactly. Because the little kids have their 1-2 Freddy's coming for you style thing for him. That's the other thing. This film is very indebted to like all of the slashers from 78 all the way up to 88, probably. Like it takes its cues from Halloween, Friday, and Freddy, like in terms of the violence at least. And a lot of that is cool, but it's like, you know, sometimes it wears thin after a while. I don't know. I liked the more stripped down stuff in the beginning.
I would agree that I feel like the wind up is way better than the payoff. And I feel like I like it, even how it's shot even better in the day, just of how like dusty everything looks and like the production design and like, you know, the barn aspect of everything.
Super orange sheen, Halloween sheen.
Oh, well, okay, but I want to argue with that a little bit because I feel like a movie that's a horror movie titled Pumpkinhead needed fall leaves, and that's I got some beef going on with that. I needed some autumn sheen, to feel really spooky. It had the orange glow sometimes, and it had like certain elements, spooky woods, lots of good spooky woods going on.
See, the spooky woods thing,
creepy old lady
is classic. And her place is very orange too.
Sure.
She's in full Colonel Kurtz mode the first time she gets revealed. It's really funny.
Yeah.
I love the way the forest is shot in this. The woods, it's all like just silhouette with a super blue background, and it's more evocative of like silent horror movies or silent films in general that have that blue tint for night shots, you know, than a lot of horror movies of the time. So I like that a lot. And or even some Italian movies that look like that. There's a lot of like Bava that have that kind of weird, super artificial exterior look.
Yeah, I feel like, what is it? The Devil and Lisa has a similar looking.
I haven't seen that one.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I feel like one of my favorite scenes is like the general shop, when like we get like the convergence of characters at the general shop, where we got like the country dude and his like 6 kids, and they're all playing around doing the, you know, horror nursery rhymes that you were referring to earlier. And then we got like the asshole yuppie young adults with the dirt bikes coming through.
It's a very anti-dirt bike movie.
Very anti-dirt bike.
That's the one thing it doesn't anticipate about the 90s, is that Hollywood would become very pro-extreme sports and pro-dirt bike. This film kind of was off the mark in that regard.
True. The only negative depiction of extreme sports I've ever seen. Usually if they're being depicted, it's being endorsed.
These guys have got brand new, clean Honda CRFs, and they're killing kids with them.
They're fake riders. That shit's not dirty. You don't got dirt on your bike.
Yeah, they're like they have like a whole car convoy that's being led by a Corvette, which felt, I don't know. It's like they're either dirt bikey riders or like yuppie rich kids. I feel like I don't know if those clubs
weird
are
characterization. The yuppie dirt biker crew is like, I was very amused by it because it was so unique, and then I realized, it is very unrealistic. Like yuppie dirt bikers, that doesn't really make sense, but it kind of is a lot of what the new yuppies are, because like those people used to also go skiing and shit. You know, that makes sense for those.
That's
guys
what they should be doing. They should be skiing.
But now in this period of time, dirt bikes are like more accessible, more popular, maybe. I don't know.
Do you think like was motorcycling ever like a yuppie thing? Doesn't like Robert Downey Jr. in like Less Than Zero ride a motorcycle or something?
I think it
know.
probably depends on the bike. I think like certain bikes are coded as like a rich kid bike, whereas like if you have like the little, I don't know enough about bikes, but I'm sure most people just visually are like, yeah, that's just a normal motorcycle kid.
Yeah. Exactly. And no, he drives a convertible.
Yeah. You're probably right, but for some reason I imagine a motorcycle.
He gives off motorcycle vibes, but pretty sure he drives a convertible.
I think you're right. Then yeah, maybe then that was my only example, so I don't have much else to support my theory.
But I also, speaking of crazy characterizations, this contemporary movie where the local farmer is having his kid wear potato sacks is fucking insane.
Gotta save some money.
I thought that was the supernatural element. That, like, I thought that was going to be like, these are like
you guys
Dust
are
Bowl.
broke as hell.
No, I thought these were like
Shit's
Dust
supernatural.
Bowl era drifters, and like that they were from 80 years before the dirt bike.
That would be a sick,
well, they
that'd
are
be a
kind
sick
of
movie.
they are kind of in a town where time doesn't exist because
True.
like there's a whole. You get to the actual village and it's like a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
In the woods. It really does look like a tent city.
You know, that scene I'm describing with the general store, I think there must have been other movies that kind of did this, but doesn't that remind you of Cabin Fever, the opening of Cabin Fever, the Eli Roth movie?
Yeah, but that general store feels more authentically like those stores exist, whereas this one feels like it's lost in time.
Yeah.
I think
But yes, that is a great comparison.
a lot of times it's either a general store or like a roadside diner kind of like I was thinking of like Breakdown in the beginning of that when Kurt Russell pisses off the old guys in the beginning, you know.
This is unrelated, but there's too many diner scenes in movies at this point.
It's the
anytime
thing-
I see a diner in a movie, I'm like, I'm out on the movie.
It's
In a
the
new movie, in a new
modernization,
movie.
though. It's the modernization of the old trope of from like super old timey horror of the guy going into the pub in the new town, a la The Invisible Man. That's why they do that in Landis, fucking American Werewolf in London.
Werewolf, yeah.
That's like an homage to like that being a repeated thing over and over. Is like the main characters alienating everyone at the local bar on their way into getting into some horrific mischief. You know.
Yeah. True.
Should have talked about American Werewolf in London.
I was going to bring that movie up at a certain point in this conversation. So
it can be now. What do you got to say about Chopper John's masterpiece?
John.
With a movie like this where you have like kind of a master special effects guy, and then you know of movies like American Werewolf in London and The Thing, you expect that there's going to be some great transformation moment where you see like the effects in real time happen. And that's one of the elements that I found disappointing of this movie is that when we see Pumpkinhead, it's usually fragments of him. It's presumably because that figure is so hard to move that it would just look ridiculous.
Well, yeah, also the conceit of it is like after the opening flashback and the times that it flashes back to that, you don't see him full figure for the first hour or so, like you were saying, Rob.
You
During all
usually
these
just see him
attacks-
in like a silhouette, which, by the way, really resembles the xenomorph for Alien. Okay.
Really
does.
I mean,
especially
he
in the
just-
beginning. Especially in the beginning.
He had this
got
shit
lazy.
left over from the Alien set. It's
Hey,
like
if
we
it
can make
works,
a
it
mo-
works.
we
If
can
it
make-
works, it
I mean, I
works.
guess it worked.
It does work. It looks a lot like the fucking Alien.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, to the point, it even has a tail. It's like Pumpkinhead does not need a tail.
To be at the same time, in another lane of thought, you know, this is environmentally sustainable filmmaking, reusing pieces from other sets. This is maybe the way Hollywood should go in the long run.
So true, Malcolm. So true.
I interrupted a thought. What were you saying about?
I was just responding to that because I think I understand the strategy by Winston too, because like you see him in the shadows and stuff, and then a lot of the attacks are point of view shots, like in a slasher movie, where all you see is the one claw that looks like it has like the one finger almost come down and just like slice a dude's face open or whatever. And then once you get like over an hour into the movie, you get those full shots of him walking around and shit. And that's supposed to be the big impact, you know, like everyone uses the shark in Jaws as the example. It's like the most fucking cliche example to use, but that is kind of the thing, is he's hiding the figure for so long. But that strategy always cuts both ways, where it's like, yeah, I get that you're hiding the figure for the sake of suspense, but it also seems like you're kind of shying away from it because maybe it doesn't look that great in motion.
And that's so how it felt for this.
One amazing shot, though, my favorite shot in the movie, and I think I understand why now that I think, like, I'm remembering the image, is because it's basically torso up. So they didn't have to worry about his legs. That shot that looks like it's in fucking Terminator Cameron Sheen, where after the amazing shot of the blue silhouetted cross, you know, crazy high contrast night shot, when he's walking through that, is it like an actual graveyard or did it just have one tombstone on it? I think
you got one tombstone, it's a graveyard.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. When he's walking through that with like the blue Terminator lighting and it's that low angle reverse tracking shot of him walking, I was like, all right, this should be a classic movie just from this image. Like, this is the coolest fucking shit in this movie. And it's just him walking with the camera, but you don't see his legs. And that's probably why it's so cool.
So another kind of interesting thing about it, back to my gripe about there not really being a transformation, is when Pumpkinhead is awakened, it's done so by whoever calls on Pumpkinhead has to give blood to the corpse of Pumpkinhead, and it's assumed that there's some connection between the two, and I don't know. I thought what was going to happen is Lance Henriksen was going to actually turn into Pumpkinhead, which is not what happens. But it isn't what happens.
Yeah, he becomes one with Pumpkinhead.
He becomes one with him, where it's like if one of them gets hurt, the other one gets hurt. But I will say what is really fucking cool is there's a close-up of Pumpkinhead's face where his face starts to look like Lance Henriksen.
That is true. That is very cool.
And that, I was like, damn, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I think that, like, the film kind of shows Lance Henriksen to be pretty stupid, honestly. And it's just because, like, he hates the fucking yuppies so much that the yuppies would represent basically the logical and legal conclusion to this issue, which is, like, you can probably sue these yuppies for more than they're worth because of their insurance for running over your kid, but that's their world.
Or so he could just kill them.
Or he could just kill all of them.
But he's too
get
good
the
of a
shotgun in the back of the store.
But he's of his world. So he's going to, you know, do the thing in the swamp with the witch lady, which is, like, to me, just insane. But it you know, that's what you have to do to make a horror movie happen sometimes. And yeah, he becomes one with Pumpkinhead, which is a total raw deal too. Like,
yeah, that sucks.
He has the hallucination that his kid comes back, and then, you know, he wakes up. Did the witch say the kid was going to come back?
No.
Okay.
He originally goes to the witch to revive his son, and she's like, I can't. No, she says, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can do it. She's like, no, I can't. And he's like, well, then give me the Pumpkinhead to kill the kids. It's like, wow, that's a big switch.
Yeah, it really, like, I don't know, man. But I will also say that watching that kid die was fucking upsetting, dude.
Yeah, it is upsetting.
Like, seeing it. Also, this is
sad.
a total litmus test of audience and how people feel about stuff, and I am one who falls for it all the time. The way the kid gets run over is a fake out where you think the dog is going to get run over first, and the dog disappears out of the shot, and then the kid runs after it. Kid gets hit. Dog's fine. Cutaway shot after. So many people, I bet, you know, are tearing their hearts out because that dog, they thought the dog was dying. And little do they know the child is about to get killed. You know, it's a good way to, like,
Nicky or whatever.
Yeah, it's a good way to get your perspective checked a little bit, your priorities checked a little bit. Because I don't know why I always think that's a funny dynamic of how people react to a dog dying versus a person dying. Because I'm one of those people. That's like I barely ever quote unquote fall for like sappy melodramatic bullshit, but when it's a cute little animal, it's really hard not to.
Well, they're helpless like compared to like a human. Obviously, it's still not good, but it's like they could have maybe done something. But a kid, I feel like, is pretty equivalent. I don't know. I would feel even worse, but it's like
I think
you got to feel bad for the kid as much as the dog.
I think what you're bringing up more happens like if it was Lance Henriksen versus the kid, versus the dog, and he died and the dog didn't. Then people would be like, "Thank God." Yeah. But I think with the kid, they're like, "Oh, that sucks too."
Yeah, of course. No, as I said, the kid like I am one of those people that falls for the animals, but the kid dying is like, in my opinion, almost too upsetting. Yeah. Like, you gotta maybe play it less serious, like, because it's hard to follow that up with like I get that it's to set up the revenge, but I don't know, man. I think you gotta watch more revenge movies and see how kind of psychotically brisk the grieving process is for these people because they skip straight to revenge.
I think this is my problem with this movie, is that there's no hate or malice. There's no killer instinct. And like I've seen, just reading like letterbox blurbs, people like one aspect people enjoy about the movie, it's like, oh, they're not just killing these yuppie people, they're kind of like their emotions are kind of like, like when there's a lot of time taken out to like show how scared they are of what's happening, and like, they're not just getting like picked off, and like that could be done well in a sense, but like I don't know, I just kind of like I just didn't feel the blood libel, you know what I mean? I just this movie's a little too kind-natured for my taste.
I don't know. There are some examples like the guy who actually killed the kid. I love that.
He gets it the worst.
I love that once he kills the kid, he goes full evil. Yeah. Where like he kills the kid, he's like, "I'm not gonna fry for this." His girlfriend is crying. He's like, "Shut up, bitch!" And he like throws her.
He's like, "I'm drunk. I'm drunk too."
He's like, "I've been drinking, man. I can't go down for this. My parents are gonna fucking kill me." And then his brother is like, he's like, "Dude, you gotta stop." He's like, "Fuck you, man. I'll kill you too." Like,
that is
which is always good when they go full evil.
Yeah, of course.
They should. Why didn't they just get out of there? I can't remember why.
Also,
why didn't they just leave?
One thing I don't remember. Does the dog end up getting it?
No.
I was thinking that. Where does the dog even pop back up after that?
God, no.
Did they forget about it?
No, I think the dog is fine. But
does he show up? Does he show up like after that scene?
He gets forgotten.
Does the dog get rescued by someone?
I don't think the dog gets killed.
But Pumpkinhead doesn't get the dog.
There is another dog that gets introduced that fights off Pumpkinhead.
Okay.
But I don't know what happens to the main
Maybe
dog.
Gypsy shows up in part 2.
Maybe it's very possible, or it's possible that the surviving yuppies take Gypsy.
Dude,
I was kind of zoning out by the end.
Have you guys seen Out for Justice, the Seagal?
Yes,
it's been a while, but yeah.
Okay, so he rescues a dog like 20 minutes in, and then toward the end, he picks the dog up from the floorboard of the car and goes, "I forgot about you." It's like, yeah, so did we, you Seagal. Fucking idiot.
You're going through like Seagal for your Substack right now, right?
No. I just happened to. I had written a little bit about Out for Justice, and then for the last installment of that Deleuze response, I used Steven Seagal as my example for a lot of it, as a means of like leveling the playing field between Deleuze being a highfalutin French guy and the dumbest movie I could think of that I love, which was On Deadly Ground.
Sure. Amazing movie. Yeah. You got to watch Hard to Kill though. Your next.
Absolutely.
Have you seen Under Siege?
Yes, Under Siege. Under Siege.
I don't love Hard to Kill, but I love Under Siege.
Yeah, it is. Under Siege is way better of a movie. I just like in terms of like laughing, like.
The montage sequence of him getting fucking ripped, Seagal quote unquote ripped.
It features two of my favorite funny Seagal aspects, where the Jamaican villains, which I feel like Jamaicans got a bad rap for like 3 years in Hollywood. There was a lot of Jamaican.
He's had a couple of Jamaican baddies in his movies.
And then of course the nurses wanting to fuck him while he's in a coma.
Course,
I mean that's one of the best.
Where he looks particularly disgusting. Another aspect of Pumpkinhead that I really love is this villain, this creature that has no real human characteristics or traits other than just being like a weird demon. He's kind of doing bits with each kill, which I found funny. I love
because you're right. He has literally no character.
Well, like he disappears with one lady, and then they're like, "Where the hell did she go?" And then there's a shot of him at the top of a tree, and he just drops her. Yeah, I was dying.
I was also kind of unclear about the powers there because there's some shots where guys just kind of get sucked into the woods slightly, and and it's usually with a crazy camera movement too, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, I think that the humor, the pranksterism of Pumpkinhead is one of the only characteristics that you could really get, other than
his other great bit is there's the main bad guy, the main yuppie, shoots him in the head with a rifle. And he's like, I got him. He's dead now. Then Pumpkinhead comes back, grabs the gun, and stabs the kid with the gun. And he's like moving around the gun like it's a shish kebab. And he's like fucking the kid. He's fucking the corpse with the gun. And then the kid is like clearly dead. And he's like curious about the body. And he keeps like moving the kid's head. He's like, are you dead yet? Are you dead yet? I was like, wow, Pumpkinhead's having fun.
And that's like the coolest practical effects for gore in the movie, I think, because some of the gore I was actually really let down by. Like the POV shots of Pumpkinhead slicing people's faces open. There's like just, I think maybe the 4K exposes it a little. Ooh. There's just way too much like distance between the slicing hand and the face. Like it just doesn't feel, it feels like a very, very old timey optical effect in a movie where everything else is very visceral almost. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the other gore looks very awesome, I will say.
Well, I watched it on Tubi. I don't have my fancy 4K like Eddie.
Yeah.
Well, I that you saying that made me wonder. It's like, with all like you said earlier, like every single American horror movie gets like a $65 4K disc remaster. It's like once we get in some of these lower budget ones, it's like maybe we were not supposed to see this in such high definition. Maybe the cloudy quality is something that benefits it.
So there's one from Shout Factory. And then what is Grove? Oh no, both are. That's just a shop. Okay, Grove is just an online shop called.
That's fine. I'm gonna start repping that like people do. Criterion Grove.
Okay,
I'm all about Grove.
Yes, of course.
You need to get back into your T-shirt game.
Oh yeah. If any seamstresses want to hit me up and do some collabs,
I think we need some new Malcolm designs for extendedmerch.com.
I never got my Wheel of Fortune in fantasy.
I know. Sure. That was a 1 of 1, and it existed only in Malcolm's brain.
In a screenshot. 1 of 1 screenshot.
So yes, I will make it clear it was the Shout Factory Blu-ray that I watched.
Shout out
this
to
on.
Shout Factory.
The 4K remaster on the Shout Factory Blu-ray that I watched this on, and the cinematography is extremely handsome. Like that. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. It's yes, everything will get a release if it's a horror movie, but like I also do fetishize a lot of aesthetics of late 80s into the 90s Hollywood film aesthetic. Like the cinematography is just, that's a house style of cinematography across all the studios that I really love, and this is no exception. Regardless though, all these positives aside, there's also all the negatives, and I think that this is a very uneven film that just leaves me wanting more. I don't really see myself revisiting it necessarily, lest it were part of a marathon, something like that, If I'm all nighting it somewhere and that's sandwiched in the middle, it's like, all right, Pumpkinhead, Yeah. But I'm going to go 3 bullets on this one. I think it's good. Malcolm, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go 2.5. Because I do think it's like the craft is there in most of the movie, but I just kind of end up being bored by it by the end. And I don't know. I guess I just felt more of that tension in the wind-up, like I was saying before, where we got the city kids and the country bumpkins. Excuse me. I don't want to say that, but that's the only term I could think of right now.
You can call them bumpkins.
No. Those people deserve more respect than anyone who lives in the city, man. Because they get the firewood and they chop it on the stump, and when they want something for their Apple Jacks, they go to the cow and they milk it out. themselves. You know, it's where we just go to the bodega in LA.
So you're an Apple Jacks guy?
Yeah, I like Apple Jacks.
It's just funny that that's the first cereal you thought of.
I was really
it's the only one that's natural.
Natural, yeah. I'm on a big health kick right now. So only Applejack, life cereal, big life cereal guy.
They raise the bees for their own Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah, exactly. They're beekeepers.
In 2021, Malcolm recited a poem that likened our podcast to that of The Life of a Farmer. And
what's this poem? What did I recite?
You don't remember this?
No, I don't.
It was on the quote-unquote series finale. You recited.
Oh, wait, I do remember this.
You recited a poem about the life of a farmer, and kind of interpreted it as, you know, being about the life of a podcaster. And I think that analogy is growing every time you mention food on this podcast.
There's nothing I respect more than farming. You know, if you're a farmer, that's like so much better than being a creative, in my opinion.
You know, a lot of young people these days are going back to the land.
True.
Rob, what about you? Any final thoughts on a rating?
I'm gonna go. I think if I didn't. I'm going to go 2.5 bullets. Mm-hmm. If I didn't have my fond memory of it, and like this was just the first time watching it, maybe 3. But because I kind of disconnected it from only being a part of that fond memory with my buddy Nick Funes, shout out if you're listening, I'm going to go 2.5 just because I wish it just existed in that.
You know, and here's the ultimate dumb guy thought. I really just wish it was a guy who had a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah,
and on a head, and he was stabbing people.
No, that's not a dumb
with
guy
an eye.
thought. It should have been that.
Yeah,
that's what I want. I'm not gonna lie.
You're right. I think I'm only nudging it up to the 3 because also we haven't really talked about how great Lance Henriksen is. I think he's really great. Yeah. I think that he is, you know, bringing that also Cameron sensibility to it a little bit. Obviously him having been in some of those movies, and yeah, I don't know. I really like him in that way that I like Ed Harris in a lot of genre movies.
But he's also like the only real actor.
Yeah, he's the only good character or actor in this. Like I it's a very low 3, but I am sticking to my guns. I'm not gonna lower it to a 2.5 despite you guys. Despite the peer pressure.
Yeah.
I'm riding this. You know what's also funny is that this is, I think, the first horror movie I've watched in fucking months.
So you're ready to lock in?
Oh, yeah, dude. I was so excited to just watch, because I watched Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, but that's a comedy, and I've seen it before. This was the first horror movie I'd watched in so fucking long, and I was just like really ready for it because Weapons barely counted as a horror movie. I mean, you know, that wasn't a Halloween movie. Let's just say that.
It's more social commentary.
I was just ready for Halloween. I was ready to do the pod with Rob. I was ready for the month, you know? And I think that like much like Rob's experience in college with just heckling his friend for watching this stupid movie, my experience of just like being stoked to get into the Halloween spirit with my buddies and being in the good mood I was while watching this movie pushed me over to 3-bullet territory.
Yes, I get that.
We'll be right back on Extended Clip.
You done bad. Y'all know what settles on badness, don't you?
Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead. Y'all stop. There ain't no Pumpkinheads. What about all this?
What's the matter? Don't you have any Halloween spirit?
Hello, Pliskin. Welcome to L.A.
Well, I was going to say Eddie has a trading card addiction. I don't want to call anyone out here, but Eddie loves these trading cards.
It's the cheapest addiction I've ever had. It's great.
That's how it starts.
Yeah. Then you're buying the Ken Griffey.
Have you ever
Topps
watched
rookie
the show King of Collectibles on Netflix?
No.
This guy Golden. He's got like an auction house, and basically they do stuff like cards and stuff.
Yeah.
Fascinating Netflix show because these guys just like love to buy and sell shit. It's like Wolf of Wall Street in there, and like someone has like their beloved card that they don't want to sell, and they're like, "Come on, how are we gonna get this?" Like, and just they have no appreciation for like whatever cultural thing that this means to this person.
Yeah,
like sorry.
No. I love this because this culture is so strange to me because, like, yeah, I've known some people who are really into it and they have their, like, special sleeves for their cards. They get them graded and everything, slabbed, quote unquote. And the high-end stuff, it is like Wolf of Wall Street. It's fucking insane.
My favorite moment of the show is like this guy Golden is like he's like, one of my oldest friends in this industry is Barry Bonds, and I've never he's like I've never once tried to get his personal collection of memorabilia, but now I'm going to break my rule. And he's offered to sell me some of his stuff. So he's at Barry Bonds' house, and Barry Bonds is lining up like all this great stuff. And he's just watching it. He's calculating how much millions of dollars he can get off this shit. He's like, this is all so great. What else you got? And it's just like it's never enough for these guys. They're sharks.
I really want to look at Barry Bonds' personal collection of memorabilia.
It's all his own shit.
Yeah. Oh, it's all just Barry Bonds
shit.
Stuff. Yeah. Because. So I recently, speaking of a Malcolm in the Middle style life experience, went back to the Cal State Northridge campus, on which the film building is like a museum poster, or a poster of film museums. Sorry, in which the film building is like a museum of film posters into itself. And now one wing of the film building was taken over, dedicated to John Singleton, who was an alumni who I never heard about when I went to CSUN that he went there. You know, him and fucking Robert Townsend both never got mentioned. But you know what? I'll still, you know, I still rep CSUN.
Yeah.
I still rep CSUN. Now they're giving him these flowers, and that's all that matters.
That's your team. That's your squad.
So there's one hall that is all from Singleton's personal collection. He curated it. And so it's his own alternates and some standard like first day one sheets of his own movies and the movies that inspired him. And dude, his alternate posters are crazy. Like he has this Italian Citizen Kane that's like the image of the huge crowd carrying Orson Welles. He has like a gigantic Subway poster of 400 Blows that he puts next to the one for Baby Boy as like his sick. As the coming of age goats.
Oh, that's really cool.
Which I mean, Baby Boy is a fucking classic. Yeah. I adore that movie. And he has some Kurosawa in there, and like so Singleton's fucking poster collection is wild. If that's just like the little bit that he curated for one little series for CSUN, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway. Memorabilia is the topic, or the subtopic within Malcolm in the Middle. For the sake of Halloween, I got these haunted hoops cards. This is crazy. These are haunted basketball cards. They're like, there's only 3 cards per pack, which is kind of hilarious. But there are some stuff that goes as low as per 31. We might not get any numbered cards at all. But I was looking. So here's the thing. Haunted hoops, it hasn't been upgraded for this year yet. They're not out yet. So these are last season's, the back stock that never got sold. Ooh. So now it's like, you know which rookie cards are worth a lot. I got the site pulled up right now. The most valuable thing you can get in Haunted Hoops, a Steph Castle rookie is worth $200.
Now, okay, I want to say, now I don't know if
the year.
Oh, Ricochet. Oh, boy. Oh, goody.
Already worth $200. That's something.
Look.
So like
you're poo-pooing this.
So bench players, they're worth 200.
No,
I'm not.
It's because he's the rookie of the year.
I know. But
so you're just not a Castle guy.
The joke is that the draft class was not so strong. There's not a lot of star power. But I'm sorry, we're getting too into the weeds.
I just want to say
NBA
though,
aspect.
I know this is a relatively new segment, and I'm sure your other guests that you do this with aren't as business forward as I am. If one of us gets a good card pull, we're splitting the proceeds. And JT's not getting a dime. He's not getting a fucking dime.
So
if we get a Jared McCain one, though, we might have to gift it to him.
We might have to
him.
Okay,
right,
if we
fine,
get Jared
fine.
McCain, we
I don't
have
know
to
who
give it
that
to
is.
JT.
Is he related to John McCain?
Yeah, John McCain's son.
Okay.
In the NBA.
I know, and I didn't know how big of a fan JT is of that guy. So
anyway, there's a ton of packs in here. So what we're going to do is each of us get a pack that we get with our Malcolm in the Middle entry.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So Malcolm, you can have yours.
Oh, I was gonna
Rob,
pass
you can
it
have
down.
yours. I like that they're advertised as the candy alternative.
Really?
Yeah, they're to give to trick or treaters that you don't want to give diabetes
Promote
to.
health,
Yeah,
healthy
promote
living.
some basketball instead. So anyway, while other people talk, you can unwrap. So Malcolm, before you unwrap your pack, have you watched any movies lately?
Yeah, I've not only watched a movie recently, but I've watched a documentary. I've watched Megadoc, which is a documentary of the onset experience of making Megalopolis, and a little bit, before, kind of showing some of the rehearsals before they go into production. And it's directed by Mike Figgis, I believe that's his name. And he, I've not seen any of his movies. I haven't seen his big hit, Leaving Las Vegas, with Nicolas Cage. But, it's very apparent when watching this movie. This man is a director himself, an auteur himself, and he definitely puts his imprint on the movie. But of course, what you're just kind of witnessing the mania of making Megalopolis, which is amazing. I'm sure you guys have heard, some of the details of what's in the doc, much like kind of like Shia, the main kind of maybe even meat of the movie is kind of Francis Ford and Shia kind of going at it, and Shia being very, very desperate, very kind of like, looking into camera. It's like, no one else will hire me. I know this is like my only shot, so I got to kill it. And
the clips on social media that were used to promote the film really did a good job of selling that, and I was glad to be vindicated in reading reviews that it's like Shia kind of is like the villain of the movie.
Totally.
And yeah, like Ethan Vespi, the Film Stages review, I believe, kind of indicated that, and I was very happy to see that, because those clips of him are hilarious.
Which is very funny, because he's my favorite person in that movie. Not as a human, but that performance was my favorite of the movie. And it's so funny to be like, yeah, man, this is my one shot. No one else will hire me. And then to just be a fucking maniac.
Well, he was just Padre Pio,
Yeah, I mean, and hey, if there's anyone who you could be a maniac to who'd probably appreciate it, it's Francis Ford Coppola. He loves his lunatics.
Yeah, well, not to give him too much credit, but it's like, I guess it shows that he cares, right? That he's willing to go through this push and pull process with Coppola, and not just kind of capitulating, I guess, to what he says. He wants to put his input in, and he acts kind of maybe not as a character, because he's Shia does put on a pretty heavy bro affect that I think is kind of underratedly pretty funny. That like
his new voice.
Because he has
his
stages.
southern voice.
He has stages of how he talks.
Yeah, like
where's he at right now?
At least in the making of the movie, it's very similar to his very famous podcast appearance where he was on like John Bernthal's podcast, and they're both just like kind of trying to like kind of out bro each other. I just find it very funny, but and it's Francis, just seeing Francis in action, is great too, and kind of how he gets to operate from, him being kind of an old legend, he kind of gets to do kind of whatever he wants. And it's not that he's like doing crazy things, but it just shows, this process of like, he's funding the movie, all by his own funds and directing it. And he's so involved in every single aspect that, some of it is there's going to be some difficulties there, and he's going to have to face those head on. And it's kind of interesting, seeing, I think something that's often heavily criticized in the movie is, maybe the visual effects. And, there's a lot of kind of tension between that department and Francis. And you kind of see how they kind of begin on a good foot, and how it kind of spins out over time. But just seeing his filmmaking process in certain scenes is just so interesting. And like, I don't know, like I remember liking this a lot from the movie, like kind of like the scenes, like kind of driving around where like Shia's like, you know, there's like a scene, right, where like everyone's like driving around and like someone takes a picture from a car and whatnot. And just seeing how they did that with like the special effects, like, you know, they're kind of doing it in kind of like a normal fashion. Then Francis Ford's like, just, I need more extreme, more, you know, just like, you know, I need you just to take those fake headlights and press them right up against the window, you know, and it does, you know, it does produce a better effect rather than kind of doing things the standard way. And when you're kind of, you know, you have this kind of, you know, playhouse, this, you know, Rob Dyrdek's fantasy factory of a project, right? You could really wield it in your own direction. And that's kind of the whole point, right? Just to kind of do things your way. So it is great to see him stick to his guns, especially as someone who, you know, I really like the movie too. So, you know, if you're not a fan of the movie, you could, I still think you could kind of enjoy it, you know, just because it just seems like it was a crazy set. And, you know, just all the characters involved, you know, Aubrey Plaza kind of gives a lot of interviews. There's people who are giving more interviews than others. And also just, it seems like Figgis, the access that Figgis gets is insane. Like he's basically sitting next to Francis while the movie is being made. And like, I feel like there's like a scene where like he like fucks up Dustin Hoffman's like eyeline by like filming it on like it seems like Hoffman's like confused. Well, like what's the main camera?
The actual camera?
Yeah. And it's like Figgis might have gotten a little bit like too much access because it's just like he gets a lot of raw moments, and that's what makes the documentary interesting. But it is just kind of funny. And there's a great moment where he's kind of like explaining why there's not many Adam Driver moments in the movie so far. And he's like, I feel like I'm messing up his process. But then, you know, he basically he tells like a whole story where like the point is like Adam Driver recognizes me and he knows who I am. He knows I'm a director. So he thought I was just a random guy at first, but he knows who I am. So him knowing me, he does, you know, Driver does agree to sit down with an interview with him kind of towards the end. But yeah, I just thought it was a very entertaining movie. And I don't know, like there's something I loved about Megalopolis is that there's just kind of a real mania and craziness to it. And like you get that feeling watching the production. And yeah, it was very enjoyable to watch.
Nice. Well, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Would you care to open your pack?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna put the pressure on you because sometimes the plastic takes a little while to get undone. So you can set your mic down, wrangle your plastic, and open yours, and I'll announce my spoils.
It is kind of an interesting process where, yeah, like
we're figuring out. If we had a mic stand, it would be easier.
This is much like the megalopolis of podcasting, where we're constantly experimenting.
Exactly. We're constantly reinventing the future, some may even say. Did you pull a holographic right away or something?
No, I got. Well, so am I gonna? I'm saying.
Go
I'm
ahead.
Up first?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I want to say R.I.P. This guy's a legend. I can't believe
died.
Well, yeah, he died in a DUI. It's Ryan Dunn of the Phoenix Suns.
You got Ryan Dunn,
who's actually it's just another basketball player named Ryan Dunn. But
so here's the thing: these cards, you're either gonna get them plain on the borders, or with like a web on the border, or a spider, or a trick or treat design.
I got some webs, and this is a rookie card. Ryan Dunn is like a
yes.
I think he was a second rounder. And you want the others?
Sure.
Oh, this guy got traded. Yeah, it's Cameron Johnson.
Oh, Cam Johnson,
in his Brooklyn garb, and it's another. We got more web. We got web here.
Yeah, no holographic or anything.
No holographic.
Okay, those are going to be the ones that are going to be worth anything, or the holographic ones for the most part. I was mistaken. It is not the flat Steph Castle rookie that's the most expensive, but the holographic Steph Castle rookie goes for $200.
It's just interesting. Oh yeah, I'm reading like the back of the card, and it kind of just details like a great game they had, which is kind of interesting. But I just thought it was funny that the first line is Johnson decided to force the issue and get to the foul line with the Nets trailing. It's like, you know, that is cool. That is good basketball. But like, if I'm a kid, I'm like, oh yeah, that's so cool that he foul baited.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mine, like, there's one of them that the description starts with a Halloween themed pun, and then the writer clearly gave up and stopped doing them on the rest of the cards because
I got one more.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
And I got another rookie card. It's Dylan Jones of the championship winning Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't think he got much playing time, but he did get 12 points in 16 minutes off the bench against Dallas in November 17. So, the real heads, the real Thunder fans will appreciate this one. And yes, I do have some jack-o'-lantern. This is the coolest looking card where I have some Halloween orange jack-o'-lantern trim on the border.
Nice.
I do like that.
I'm always be getting Halloween trim.
Halloween trim. That scary shit. That's what gets me going.
Those goth bitches.
Rob.
Yo.
What cards did you pull, first of all?
Okay, you're going to have to help me because I'm not a ball knower. Tobias Harris.
Okay.
Legend
of well, some people really hate him for what he did on their teams. But he's
Wait, what did he do? Like as
just
a player, or is he?
He'll have some decent spurts, and then a team will get him for way too much, and then he'll be bad. But he's been like pretty consistently whatever for the Pistons.
For the
right?
Pistons, he's been good. But,
okay.
But
consistently better than he was on the Sixers, right?
Yeah, he was very like overpaid and like was projected maybe to be an all-star, just never reached that. So it's kind of a disappointment.
Well, maybe he will be an all-star.
Any cool design?
It's got a spider web.
Okay,
not that tight. And then I got a Tyus Jones.
Tyus Jones. Okay. Yeah. See, that's a guy that everyone thought was going to make an impact because there's quote unquote no real point guards anymore, but he barely ended up getting even like, what was he, 25 minutes a game or so for the Suns?
Yeah, he's the reason that Jalen Green is on the Suns now.
Exactly.
So far I have two guys that almost were good.
Some empty calories playing.
Yeah, and this one has both the jack-o'-lantern trim and the spider webs.
That does look cool though. I like
that.
Yeah.
I like the jack-o'-lantern trim
with the spider webs.
Yeah, with the red too. That pairs well with the red, I think.
Okay. And then the last one I have is Kyle Lowry.
Ooh. Now Kyle Lowry, you may like to know, has a large butt.
Big ass.
Big ass. That's the thing about him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's isn't there a baseball player who also has a big ass?
Probably.
What is with
I'm not
you
sure.
guys, sports heads with the big asses?
See, the Tyus Jones one, though, with the orange background.
Oh, now we're talking.
Even ungraded goes for $2.49 on its own. Which, look, with these
get a
cards,
Crunch Bar.
there's like fucking 40 packs.
Okay, what about graded?
There's no price on it. That's why I had to just say ungraded.
Yeah.
There's no price listed. But that's the thing. These cards, there's 120, and I paid whatever $18 for them, and there's 120 of them. So any of them being worth even $1 is good.
That's
like
good.
most of them are worth
you can make a profit if you really try.
Yeah, most of them are worth fucking 2 cents. That's
Okay.
why if you get one that's worth $1, it's kind of good.
Should we just open all 40 packs for the rest?
Not on air, but maybe tonight as we drink more. I would like to open more packs. Yes.
I've turned around. Let's just do 4 more hours of opening these packs and commenting on the player.
I was going to try to convince you to let me do a segment that we could have in the can of just me drinking on the pod, silent. They're calling it the worst episode in podcasting
Wait, so you're
history.
silently drinking.
No,
and
it's
so
just
the
like
sounds
you
of
just
you opening
hear,
cans.
literally, and then like maybe we set the mic down on the table so you can hear background chatter.
You just hear the clinking though.
But it's muffled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bit
but
muffled.
all you hear
Audio only.
really is just the actual slurping opening of cans.
Sure.
That could pass as like field recording type music concrete.
Yeah, Peter
you know?
Sotos type.
Well, I don't know
scenes.
about that. That's
I do. They're calling Malcolm the Peter Sotos of extended clip.
I'll take it. Sure.
But Rob, did you watch anything recently that you liked?
I watched. I guess the one I'll talk about is I watched the 4.5 hour TV movie version of The Shining.
Now I heard that this is actually the more faithful adaptation
from Mr. King. I heard.
Well,
this from
I
Mr.
wouldn't
King.
know because I don't read fucking books,
And you're not faithful.
and I'm not faithful.
Two books.
Two books.
Two books.
This is,
Yeah,
this is a kept
but,
man or something.
yes,
I don't know. I don't want to get
just from watching it and knowing that like Stephen King likes this version more and likes Steven Weber's performance more. Totally, it makes perfect sense, and I do think Steven Weber's performance is good. And I could see that if you were the creator of the character of Jack Torrance, why you would be upset at like the Kubrick one and how Nicholson did it versus this one.
Wait, did you say if you were Jack Torrance, you would be upset?
No. If you were the creator of Jack Torrance.
Okay. I think I missed the word creator.
So if you're Jack
if
Torrance Senior,
like I could see because you do see moments of Jack Torrance in this as like a kind of a decent father and like trying and really struggling with the booze addiction, whereas Jack is full Jack from minute one.
He's the god.
But like, I mean, where luckily I'm not Stephen King and am a jackhead, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I want.
I'd want to be Stephen King.
I want exactly.
I don't know, that life he was living, Maximum Overdrive era, just too much cocaine to remember directing a movie as a novelist is wild.
No,
I would love to try that.
Well, that does sound cool. So
all right, I take it back.
Drug Stephen King, you'd want to be. Drug addict Stephen King.
But The Shining, he must have been like, it's a reflection on addiction.
He said of the Kubrick one, I listened to him on a podcast talking about, I thought that the Kubrick movie was like if you restored a beautiful Cadillac, perfectly mint condition, and you forgot to put in a fucking engine. Like, so he was like, he thought that movie had like no soul and no like driving force.
He's so crazy.
So he liked the craft of that movie, but not.
I think he should have, and this is like crazy cinema speculation style shit, which is funny because Carrie is in that book, which is the second best Stephen King movie probably after The Shining.
Okay, yeah.
Do you think Carrie's better than The Shining?
No, I just haven't seen
No.
I
was asking Malcolm because I think he might think that.
I think, well, to be honest, I've seen Carrie like 7 times. I haven't seen The Shining in a long time.
Well, I think you have to.
I want to rewatch it.
I think you have to separate it in like what's the best movie as a whole, and then
that's
like,
what I mean.
What's the most faithful?
Oh yeah. I just simply mean as what's the best movie because I haven't read these books.
I think The Shining for sure.
But and again, emphasizing that I haven't read these books, cinema speculation mode. I think if Stephen King just kind of got over himself, let's say in the early 80s, and just like worked with these great auteurs instead of fighting the resistance kind of it.
But
and
he doesn't fight the resistance because he makes his work really easily adaptable.
True.
He has like a whole thing is like, just send me money and you got it. Like there's a series we could adapt the Stephen King movie if we followed the steps. He'd be like, and you get your movie. You do whatever the fuck you want with it.
We should adapt a Stephen King movie.
You mean a Stephen King book?
We should adapt. Sorry. That was my way of reducing the fat of the sentence and just saying it in the most compact way. But we should adapt one of his books and then make it pro-Trump to piss him off.
That would be sick. Anyway,
just to mess with them.
But so I liked it quite a bit. I watched it over a period of like 4 days, just because it was so long, and I treated it like it was a TV movie. Like I knew what I was getting with it. I kind of just wanted a vibe thing. I've seen the Kubrick one 1,000,000 times. I love it. I think it's one of the best things ever. And I was like, I want a little bit of a change. See someone else's vision with it, and it was fun.
Last year, we talked about what might be my third favorite, Salem's Lot, the TV movie version.
Oh, that one's really great.
That's amazing. I'm still blown away by that. Like, I still think about that vibe of that TV movie.
Yeah, that's
like,
a great one.
It's so sick. I think those are probably my. It's a pretty chalk 2 out of 3 at least with Carrie and The Shining, but those are probably my 3 favorite movies.
Do we have Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption opinions?
Shawshank, sure. I watched it like 2 years ago for the first time, like not on cable, like because I've seen it with commercials and shit. Mm-hmm. But I actually downloaded the 4K remaster of it and watched it 1.5 or 2 years ago, and it was perfectly middling. It was whatever.
My experience with Shawshank was, so I think I announced myself on the scene amongst my peers as a movie guy too early on before I had really seen movies. And there was like a joke within my friend group of, yo, Rob Franco don't know shit about movies, because like they'd pull out, like, this guy's never seen Shawshank Redemption. He's never seen and like the list went on and on and on. And they were totally right. I didn't know shit at the time. Well, I probably don't know now, but I sure love to talk about it. Anyway, I remember watching Shawshank in high school and being like, really? That's the fucking movie?
That's it?
That's it? And I haven't really revisited it since, and I don't really care to. I'm sure it's totally
movies.
fine.
It's exactly that. And I haven't seen The Green Mile.
Yeah, I haven't.
There are periods of time where I'm really, and I hate that I do this to myself, but when I'm watching a lot, when I'm like watching like 10 movies a week or so, like one a day, maybe two, I'll force myself to just like check off like stuff that I probably am not going to like, but I'm like, I need to have seen this, you know?
Sure.
And so when I'm feeling it, when I'm like, oh, I can watch 2-3 movies today, I'm barely working,
Hit
whatever.
the rewatch.
And like the brain is working in that way where I don't want to read books. I don't want to zone out to skate on PS4 now. That's my new zone out. That's when I watch like Shawshank and shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
I do that too.
And yeah, I was like ready to like it, and I liked the first like 30 minutes. I was like, all right, you know what? I think I am gonna like this, and then it just kind of keeps going, and you're like, all right, yeah, I don't really feel that punch at the end at all. Like, it's also just like very telegraphed and hits a lot of stuff home like overly hard, and the lead performances are good. Morgan Freeman a little bit ham for me, but what's his name, Robbins, is good.
I also want to say that with The Shining, I also watched the It miniseries. And I've just been finding that I find that 80s 90s horror TV movie aesthetic really comforting and cozy, and there's something I've begun to really appreciate about it. I can't quite pinpoint it on I can't put my finger on why I like it, but it's probably something like, imagine being a kid throwing on cable on a rainy day and like locking into something like that.
Yeah, I had a similar experience with not similar, a different, like what the experience you're describing of like being a kid and like flipping around. Like I feel like I did watch like the It miniseries at like 12, 13, and like I still remember it.
There's something about it. It's not great either, but like
the clown, it looks pretty scary in that, right?
Maybe
that's
he looks
just memory.
scary if you're a kid.
Yeah,
it just like looks goofy. It
looks like a goddamn
If I'm being
clown.
honest, like the new version of it is scarier.
Really?
Not that it's scary, but it's scary. Like, I don't know.
I was scared of the box art of the TV movie It when I was a kid. Like the at Blockbuster, that VHS scared the shit out of me. I had nightmares about going to the horror section.
Yeah,
like because I never watched a horror movie until I was like fucking way older, like I've talked about. But anyway,
wait, I just want to. Did any of you guys see It Part 2?
I did. It's the longest goddamn movie of all time.
Sucks so bad, and like the way that movie starts is just hilarious with me. Where it starts with Xavier Dolan getting slashed, which is pretty funny,
nice,
pretty random, and then like
he's in that.
Yeah, he's like the he plays a gay man who gets killed at the beginning of the movie. Actually,
damn.
No comment.
Don't make a joke out of that, please.
I wasn't. I said no comment.
He's telling the audience not to make any jokes to their friends listening in the car.
I'm wagging my fucking
We're all
finger
wagging
right
our
now.
fingers through the radio.
And then it's all the kids are grown up and they go to like some shitty, like they just go to like a restaurant in a mall, and like that just kind of, I don't know, just feels not in a mall but like a shopping center. Like it just seemed like a for some reason that set is sticking with me. But yeah,
nice.
we can move on.
My cards, I got 3 guys. Like one guy I really dislike, but the card is worth the most, and 2 guys I really like. I got a very plain Anthony Edwards.
Oh, that's a good pull.
Oh, I love Ant-Man, and
this
is
not
still
worth anything?
It's worth like $1 on its own, but which is still worth something, but all the other Anthony Edwards cards are worth like way more. Like cuz there's a few that are worth like 40 or 50 from this set, but I have the plain border, just the spiderweb, but this is the one I referred to earlier where the copy on the back of the card is funny. It says, like a ghost flying through walls, Edwards effortlessly floats past the defense.
Okay, true. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It also says he has frightening flights that help the Timberwolves.
Frightening flight. That's too similar to fight or flight to me.
Exactly.
Confuses me.
But yeah, no horror puns here for the Aaron Gordon card. I like Aaron Gordon quite a bit.
Very toolsy player.
A pivotal part of the Denver quote unquote almost dynasty. Should have been a dynasty,
almost dynasty. Yeah, well, they got a chance.
They have a chance. They could still do it. They could catch the tail end of it. And then now this is for the real Eddie Averill podcast heads out there, for the ones who listened to the Art and Sports podcast in its brief 12 or so episodes run. There was a recurring segment, Fools Watch MVP of the Week. Ooh. And the winner of maybe 5 different editions of this was this man right here, this holographic card I got of Jordan Poole.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look at that.
Let's
beautiful.
Go.
Hologram.
Championship winner, Jordan Poole. Pivotal part of the Warriors. Probably
I call him Jordan Poop because he sucks.
Exactly.
Well, now he's a Pelican.
Now he's a Pelican,
he's
and
Pelican
we will see.
Fly.
Man, that team. I feel
Wait,
so.
who are the Pelicans? Is that a new team?
New Orleans. They
relatively new.
Relatively new. They changed their name and relocated from Charlotte.
They were the Hornets.
No, they were the New Orleans Hornets, but there was also the Charlotte Bobcats that became the Charlotte Hornets. It was a very convoluted thing.
Huh. And now they're the New Orleans Pelicans?
Yes.
Yeah. Huh. And I burned my Gerald Wallace jersey at a protest.
Did you actually?
No.
And now there's rumors that instead of the NBA expanding to Las Vegas or Seattle, the Pelicans are going to be moved to one of those cities.
Shout out Nelson.
Oh God, yeah. If the Nell God himself has to become on the same fan base of I have more Pels fans in my friend groups online than the average person. I would say there's like 4 Pelicans fans in my combined group chats. It's a lot for
shout out to Cheddar Chaz.
Yes, shout out to Cheddar Chaz for sure. That's the one. For like one of the bleakest fucking outlooks of the NBA, there's a lot of Pels fans out there. So have fun with Jordan Poole this year, I guess.
Fun player. He's on the upswing.
Ungraded, this card's worth $1.25. I'll put it in a sleeve and slab it, Anyway, let's see. You know what I'm going to talk about is the program that's been going on and just wrapped up by Mezzanine. It was a retrospective of Luc Moulet's filmography. Much of it was restored in 4K, but the double feature I went to toward the end, these were both shown in like pretty low quality, which is fine, especially because Death's Glamor, the 2007 film, the DVD quality really like lends itself to the 2000s aesthetic of the movie. And this is a crazy movie. Because, like, I've talked about Seats of the Alcazar before, or Les Sièges de l'Alcazar. We've talked about that, actually, I think twice on this pod. Death's Glamor is one I had never even heard of and thought was a short film and was delighted to learn it was a feature. Luc Moulet basically plays himself, or does play himself, and goes Antonioni's The Passenger mode, speaking of going God Jack mode, and finds a dead body while he's on a hike and swaps identities with it so that Luc Moulet will be pronounced dead, so that his film rights will be worth a lot more, so that his wife can obtain all that money by selling his film rights, and then he can come back to life with all this triumph of returning from the dead, and his wife already has all this money for them, and now he'll be able to make films. That's his goal. Is like his comeback will be staging his own death and coming back from the dead.
Does the Kenny Powers.
Exactly. And this comes out the year Eastbound. Is it 07 is season 1 of Eastbound? It's like right around there. It is in the air for sure. Because there are some hilarious stunts and gags in this movie too. It is like Moulet is a hilarious filmmaker. All of these movies are comedies, other than maybe Anatomy of a Relationship is more of an art movie, but it's still comedic. This movie is fucking hilarious though. There's so many good gags. Like the first thing that happens that gets in the way of his master plan is that Godard dies in the movie. And he's like, oh fuck, now everyone's gonna just pay attention to Godard for the next month, you know.
This sounds hilarious.
It's awesome. It's amazing. He goes through a radical physical transformation. He's walking around with a fat backpack the whole time for a lot of the movie. He just looks like a fucking idiot throughout the whole movie. It's awesome. It's like, other than Sieges of the Alcazar, it's probably my next favorite Moulet movie that I've seen of this retrospective and the shorts I've watched online otherwise. So high recommendation for Death's Glamor. And that's going to do it for this, the first main feed episode of the Baby Bobby Franco Halloween Mindset Takeover.
Woo!
Join us on the Patreon, where we already talked about Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein and are going to be talking about so many other classics. And email us, extendedclippodcast@gmail.com is where you will send your Halloween-related questions for the next month for us to answer on the air. And also send your best wishes to JT, as he is taking the only paid time off you're allowed to take from the podcast to shoot a feature film.
But also, if you think I should replace JT full time, also send in emails there too. Send bad wishes to JT.
Now, I'm not going to touch that. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it in.
Yeah, you will.
We want emails either way.
Yeah.
We want emails either way. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.